Even more humiliation for Prince Harry as his military history has just been erased. Hey up everyone, it's me, Stef the Alternate, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to another dose of the Daily Nerd, where I break down the royal news and gossip of the day that's pretty much got me eye, and oh my goodness. Yeah, let's jump into this one, shall we, because this definitely was not on my bingo card for 2024, however, I certainly welcome the development, and it's this! Yep! Harry's Sandhurst humiliation. He's been left out of a prestigious army book celebrating Sandhurst's top alumni, which, of course, it does include Prince William, and even more salt in the wound for Hazard. Prince William even writes the foreword for this book. Now, for those that don't know, Sandhurst is a military academy where some people go to train to get into the military in the UK. That kind of thing, all right? But yeah, he failed to make the military academy's top 200 people to train at the military college of Sandhurst, despite his brother, Prince William, making the cut and even writing the foreword to the exclusive guide. Now, even James Blunt, okay, made the pages of the quote they also served, right? Now, James Blunt, he served in the military in Kosovo before he became a singer. Who is James Blunt? Again, for those that don't know, this dude right here, English singer-songwriter and musician, most well-known for his debut single, You're Beautiful. Now, moving on from that, reacting to the decision to remove Prince Hazard from the book, or just not include him at all. So we have this person called British Army Colonel Richard Kemp, telling The Sun, I completely understand why he is not being included. I probably would have included him on balance, but it's not a disappointment to not see him in there. Oh my goodness, the shade. Further saying, I don't think he did anything particularly notable in his service, but he was certainly a significant person to go to Sandhurst. And that's interesting that he says that. I don't think he did anything particularly notable in his service because what's his nickname? Well, one of his many nicknames, Bunker Harry. If you don't know what that means, Google it. I suspect the recent disharmony between him and the royal family has led them to decide against having him in. Good call, right? Further saying, one thing he said in his book was the army taught him to see the enemy as less than human, which is not what we were taught. That has overshadowed a lot of the great things that he has done. And that's right. Now, the author of this particular book, Vaughan Kent Payne, reportedly notes that not everybody who trained there was a good egg, adding that there's a smattering of traitors and cads who trained at the prestigious base. I wonder if he's talking about Prince Hazard there, guys. Now, Prince Hazard did attend Sandhurst for the 44-week training course back in 2005 before becoming an officer in the Household Cavalry Blues and Royals in April 2006. Now, he was in the military for 10 years. He served 2 tours in Afghanistan, where he acted as a forward air controller from 2007 to 2008 and an Apache pilot from 2012 to 2013, and again gained the nickname of Bunker Harry for rumours, conspiracy theories, whatevers, right? Now, Prince William, on the other hand, yes, he also trained at Sandhurst. That's why he's in the book. And he was there in 2006 before serving with the Royal Air Force and the Royal Navy. He served in 150 operations, retiring back in 2013. Now, this book in particular, Sandhurst have chosen 200 exceptional individuals, which does not include Prince Hazard. Prince Hazard is not an exceptional individual in the eyes of Sandhurst. Ooh, the shade, right? Especially when Prince Hazard relies on his military background a lot to try and, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, bolster his image, i.e. the Invictus Games, anyone? Ooh, this has got to be a blow for them as well. And so who else featured in this book? Well, we've got Prime Minister Winston Churchill, Nigerian President Murtala Mohammed, and Oscar-winning actor David Niven. More recent alumni include astronaut Tim Peake and polar explorer Preet Shandy. Under Prince William's page, the book reportedly explains that because of the heir's future duty as king, it meant he could not be deployed on military duty like his younger brother Harry, which is correct. Now, discussing on GB News why Prince Harry had joined the list of people who've been erased from history from Sandhurst, we've got one of our favourite royal experts that I do like to quote, Richard FitzWilliam, saying, behaviour such as listing the number of individuals you personally unalived makes it pretty clear why he's not in it. Personally, I don't think he'll be that surprised. Oh no, I think he will be totally surprised. Totally surprised. He'll be like, hang on a minute, I served in wars. My brother didn't. I do the whole Invictus game situation and all this stuff that I do for the veterans, blah, 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 blah. My brother doesn't do any of that. No, he'll be totally surprised that he's not in it. But this is the thing. Let me remind you what Richard FitzWilliam is quoting from here when he says behaviour such as listing the number of individuals you personally unalived makes it pretty clear why he's not in it. Well, around about this time last year, Spare came out, otherwise known as Wham! And I did quite a few videos on this particular portion of the book. And at one point, I actually defended Megzy. Yeah, one of the rare moments, but they're there. And so he revealed in his book Spare that he unalived 25 people in Afghanistan during particularly his second tour. He says he flew on 6 missions that resulted in the taking of human lives, something of which he's neither proud nor ashamed. He's, as far as I can tell, apathetic about it. He writes in his book that in the heat of combat, he did not think of the 25 as people, but instead as chess pieces that had to be taken off the board. So he completely dehumanizes them, right? Now, writing about his time further, he describes watching a video of each unalivement when he returned to base, as the video camera on his Apache helicopter recorded each mission in full. He says that in the din and confusion of combat, he saw the insurgents he unalived as baddies eliminated before they could kill goodies. It's not possible to unalive someone if you see them as a person, but the army had trained me to other them, and they had trained me well. He says, I made it my purpose from day one to never go to bed with any doubt whether I had done the right thing, whether I had shot at Taliban and only Taliban without civilians in the vicinity. I wanted to return to Great Britain with all my limbs, but more than that, I wanted to get home with my conscience intact. And he says that in war, soldiers do not usually know how many they've unalived, but in the era of Pashas and laptops, he was able to say with exactness how many enemies he had unalived. And it seemed to me essential not to be afraid of that number. So my number is 25. It's not a number that fills me with satisfaction, but nor does it embarrass me. And part of his reason for not feeling any guilt about these unalivements is that he never forgot being in the TV room at Eton College when he was young, watching news coverage of 9/11 in New York, and later meeting the families of the victims of the attacks on visits to America. He describes those responsible for the attacks and their sympathisers as enemies of humanity, and says fighting them was an act of vengeance for one of the worst crimes in human history. Now, this is the problem here. When he wrote this and published this in Spare, you had many top military officials come out and actually condemn Hazza for even naming the number of enemies that he had unalived. They said, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. You don't keep notches. You don't keep a kill count. It's uncouth to do, right? And again, I did videos on the military's reaction when Spare was released around about this time last year. So based on those reactions at the time that Spare was released, well, yeah, I ain't even surprised myself that ultimately Hazza's military record has effectively, opinion conspiracy theory, whatever, been erased by not being included in Sandhurst's book celebrating the military's college's top alumni, top 200 alumni. Oh, that's gotta sting, eh, Prince Hazza? With that being said, if you appreciated this video and you want more, believe me, of course there's gonna be more, then make sure you subscribe to join our Alter Nerd tribe. I'll be honest with you, help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button right there and hopefully cause a Christopher Boozy meltdown on Twitter. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's. Also as well, if you've got some very strong opinions about Prince Hazza not being included in Sandhurst's book, and I bet you do, then make sure you send me a super thanks. It's just below this video right here. We can have a conversation about this because it does guarantee a response from me. And until the next time, you guys, laters.